feeling pretty incognito right now because I got my sunglasses on, but I also have clothes over my entire costume, just like a little, can even, yeah, you can't even, I'm not even gonna bother. It's there, okay? Everything's just hiding under me right now. Looks like I am gonna have to hike a little bit because right now there's just like yellow flowers and stuff. And I'm hoping to find more because I'm like, if I was just gonna do these guys, I could have gotten in Arizona, I'm hoping to find poppies if I can. That's gonna be the golden thing. I don't know how long of a hike I'll have to take to get this stuff or whatever. I'm already thinking to myself, I'm like, am I gonna get to photographing for Joshua Tree today? Or is that, am I gonna have to do the whole makeup and everything again, just freaking do it tomorrow? And, because it's already 12 over here. Joshua Tree is an hour and a half away. So, and I'm still gonna have to set up a campfire and all of that stuff. Although I did get spring rolls. So right before I left. Okay, now that I've gotten in, I'm gonna go ahead and get my flower crown out. Okay, now we'll just put it on because it will be safest on me in terms of needing to worry about damage and stuff. I'll make it a little bit easier, more comfortable to carry this stuff too. We got Camelback. Boom. Oh, hit myself in the face. Just want to filter that out because it hasn't been used in a while. Okay. I got my camera. I got my camera stand. Oh, I guess I don't know why I'm still holding that. I don't have to. I had a portable phone charger in my car. I could have brought that. Would have made it easier. I'll check in a bit once I find a spot, but I'm going to save the battery until then just in case. All right, so I'm realizing I'm like, oh wait, I'm putting things away and I just need to film real fast. So I'm very much in project mode right now. I'm not really thinking about filming, and honestly, I'm like, ooh, I might need to start saving more space and stuff. I just grab my sleeves real fast so that way you can see and appreciate the full outfit in its glory. I'm feeling in a hurry. I'm like, I gotta get to Joshua Tree now because I want to go while there's still sunlight. But here is Diamond Valley Lake. Oh, boom. And here's my outfit. I've got, let's see, I want to make sure I'm not having a wedgie again. I've got like these tassels on my booty. Whee! Yeah, I've got all my necklaces and stuff. This is the full costume. All right, I'm gonna take these off now that I've shown you. So I was honestly hoping to find more than just the yellow flowers, and then I looked. You can get a pretty decent view from over here. I'm not saying they're not around, but how far would I have to actually go in order to find them? I don't know. And at this point, it's not worth it. Yeah, it's not worth it at this point because I need to get to Joshua Tree in order to set up camp and stuff. But also I might have to try to stop at like a Walmart or something and freaking hope that they carry ancient memory cards because I ran out of memory on my camera. I mean, I could probably sit in the car and fish through quite a few of them and figure out, oh, I better pick up these petals. A couple of them just came off. That's not great. Take these. And concerned about making sure that I can have all the tools I need because, this was one of the destinations, but this is not the final destination. And I want to make sure that I'm going to get everything that I need, especially since once I go there, I'm stuck there. For the next 2 days. We're gonna pack up over here. This feels so silly. You know what? No one's looking. I'm gonna take these off for a second, even though I'm at the top of a hill, and then I'm just gonna put my pants on. I'm not gonna film that. I'll be right back. is successfully changed into my clothes. I made sure I did not leave any flower petals because that's not good for the environment. It's honestly, part of me feels like maybe, you know, I don't know, I feel like a bad person for even bringing a flower crown into the environment in general. I'm trying to be as careful as I possibly can with it. Oh my god, wait. These are pretty. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm like, you know, there's some things that I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I could have easily just gone to my backyard for some of the stuff that I was looking for, but I didn't have that view, right? I still love my saguaro cacti though. I'm like, we have all the Paula Verdes are all yellow and everything at home right now too. I'm gonna try to save some of the flowers because they're supposed to be good for tea when I get home. I mean, not these flowers. I didn't hike very far, thankfully. I'm like acting like I'm so freaking tired. Well, you know what? I'm allowed to be tired even if I didn't hike that far. I don't know. Like I said, when I get to the car, I'm gonna have to figure out camera stuff. I have to figure out if I'm gonna need to stop somewhere for a memory card, if there's like a Best Buy or Walmart or something. But this camera is ancient. I was so close to bringing my laptop. If I did, I could have just uploaded them. I'll figure it out. See you at Joshua Tree. There's some saguaros. Oh my god. That made me so happy. There's like a couple of saguaros that you can find in places in California, apparently right here. I think there might be like one other state. Similar with the Joshua Tree. I know that there's supposedly a few of them somewhere in Tucson, but they are not common. That being said, there's a lot of Joshua trees around here. Oh my fucking goodness. There's a whole fucking forest of them. What the hell? They are everywhere. I was worried. I was like, are they only going to be in the park itself? Because it's $30 to get in, which I do want to do, but it's almost 5. And yeah, I need to set up my campsite, and also I'm hoping that I can still take the remaining photos and everything. I realized that the reason I ran out of camera space on my, you know, that kind of camera, digital camera, yeah, is because this is every camera. I'm just trying to say, like, taking pictures. Okay. Yeah, it's because it has 128. Oh, it says Arizona Pipeline. Oh, well, that maybe not. Okay, that's fine. It said Arizona with a cactus logo. I got excited. Anyway, it has 128 megabytes on the memory card. I saw 128 and my modern mind just was like, great gigs. No. I forgot, and I should know better because this camera was one that my mom got when I was like in middle school, and I would take all of my cringy selfies that I never posted on MySpace because I would just post pictures of my eye itself because I followed the internet safety rules and wouldn't put my face on the internet, but I still put my eyes on the internet, so I would just crop all of the pictures and then I'd keep all the other ones just for me to look at. Yeah, that's how old this camera is. So I did try to go to Walmart, could not find a memory card that works for this camera. Was not shocked. I honestly was going to be shocked if I did find what I was looking for. I'm hoping that there's going to be some Joshua trees right around my campsite, because if there is, then I will pitch that little tent I'm still wearing. I'm not, okay, the seatbelt's covering. I'm not going to worry about trying to show you. I'll just tell you that I'm wearing part of the costume underneath this still, not the pants though, because I took those off. I showed my butt on the mountain. No one was around to see. Yeah, if no one was around, like, was my butt really naked? I don't know. The forest and the trees, yeah, you get it. I need to conserve space on this phone now because I deleted a couple of photos. It's so hard though because you could barely see on the screen. I thought I was gonna have so much more room. I'm gonna have about 5 shots left on that camera and the rest I'm gonna have to take on my phone. So I need to leave some space on this phone. So I will see you at the campsite. Photoshoot part 2 after setting up the tent and stuff. Wanted to give a little bit of a tour. Set these bracelets, which I made special for this occasion. This bracelet, this is cold, is from the Met, and my mom got it a long time ago. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me better? Okay. I've got this. The shiny bracelet is to match this necklace. That was the necklace that I wore for high school prom. It was 1920s themed. This chrysocolla is through my... this one I just got for the occasion. I got it at the bead store. I mean, I picked out the chain and the pendant, and put them together or whatever. I didn't make the pendant. This chrysocolla I got in Sedona, the last trip that I ever took with my mom when she was alive. This necklace was part of my mom's old jewelry. And then I've got this 111 bracelet, which is one that a friend gave me. And then this shiny one has like an elephant on it, pink. I got from a friend in college. Okay, I wanted to show that. Oh, and these earrings I got from my mom. And then I'm wearing some of her faux emerald earrings. Okay, I need to get in the car. It's too windy. That wind! Oh my god. I just took the flower crown out. That was intense. Except it wasn't. It was outside. And I hope, speaking of tents, that mine is okay. I hope that, I'm not gonna lie, it was quite the quest to put it up, and I put rocks inside of it so that way it would stop flying all over the place. I had like the things to, you know, put into the ground too. I don't know. They weren't working well enough, we'll say. Yeah, it definitely took me longer than I'd like to admit to assemble the tent, but I also shouldn't be hard on myself because literally every time I went to one corner of the tent, there was wind knocking over the other corner. All right, I'm gonna get to the campsite now. Again. Okay. I didn't even remember that I still had my makeup on. That's okay. It is staying. I done at this point. It took me way longer than I'd like to admit to get my fire started and going. I'm not a camping expert by any means, but I'm also not a complete and total novice. Oh, it's cold at this point. It took me so long to get everything. But I made oh, I can just do this. This is easier. Sausage, onions and peppers, vegan sausage, obviously. Well, maybe not so obvious. I shouldn't assume everyone knows that, but here you go. I was kind of freaking out, and I was like wondering why it, you know what, I'll leave this on for right now. Why it felt so impossible for me to set up my tent and my fire. The people next to me, their tent didn't look nearly as flowy, and I was like, oh yeah, my brother was right, this is just an old tent and like I gotta deal with it. Their fire was pretty big, and I was like, I don't need a big fire, I don't want to hang out, like I just want to, it's really windy. I was like, I just want to make a fire so I can make food. That's all I wanted. I was like, I just want food and I want to be done. Long story short, I realized because we're like in a cove, the wind funnels in and they're on one side of the cove where like they at least have a wall that's blocking the wind. There's people next to me on the other side that have another wall, whereas I'm like dead in the center, and so all the wind is just like boom right there. And so it made it really hard to get a fire started. I went through my entire matchbox. Thank God my brother was like, hey, why don't you take this lighter just in case? Thank you. I'm gonna tell him about that. I'm gonna have to go into town tomorrow to get more supplies. Basically what I ended up doing is I had olive oil, and I was like, you know what, I don't need the olive oil for the cooking because of the pan that I have. It's supposed to just go over the flame. I doused a napkin multiple times. It took me multiple attempts, multiple napkins in the olive oil, set it under the firewood, lit that, and it would keep getting started, and then there would just be enough wind to where it just knocked it out. Long story short, made my food, went to the tent, and realized real fast, I was like, oh no, I cannot. I've been so overstimulated. I've suffered with like insomnia over the past couple of months and everything, partially just in preparation for this project. I think it put a lot of stress on me. I'm vlogging on here, and that's all fun, but like I really haven't relaxed at all today. Even earlier, like as soon as I got to the campsite, I ate like my spring rolls that I picked up like real fast. I went straight out to the desert to take those last few photos and everything because I knew I wasn't gonna have this makeup again. But I'm not washing it off at this point. I don't even know if I'm gonna brush my teeth. I got in and I was ready to eat. Don't worry, I was gonna wash everything and bring it all into the car, and now I'm just gonna eat in the car, and I'm gonna sleep in the car too because wind, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, I don't think the tent's gonna fall over. I think I did a pretty decent job. I like set things all like inside the tent, like to make sure that it wasn't gonna fly away. There's huge like basically boulders in there. My car is really quiet. I have a sun/moon roof, so like if I want to have a little bit of a breeze come in, or if I just want to, when I do turn out the lights, look out that. Like, I'm still enjoying the campsite. I'm staying here tomorrow night too, so hopefully tomorrow night isn't as windy, because if that's the case, then I would love to sleep in the tent. I've been too busy. I am too overstimulated to be able to handle that super loud wind and everything. Not to mention it's gonna get really cold, and I get cold easily, and I do have shit to be prepared, but I just can't. I'm just gonna show you the ambiance real fast, and then I'm gone for tonight. I have some twinkle lights here. You know what? Let's turn this guy off so you can really see. I've got some twinkle lights here, and I've got one other light over back here. I did have like battery operated candles, but I don't know where they went. And quite honestly, I'm too hungry and tired to actually look for them right now. So I'm gonna eat. I'm sure they will show up. I'll get more organized. I'm gonna reorganize everything tomorrow. Put all the things I don't need in the far back of the trunk and whatnot. Anyway, have a great time, and I'll see you in the next clip. Good morning. I've got char on my face, and I still have yesterday's makeup. Yeah. I don't know if you can tell, but I am in the tent. Oh, surprise. I hung out in the car for about an hour, and I was going through all the photos, and I forgot that when you set the timer, it does the thing where it takes like 10 photos in a row, and I was like, oh, frick, yes. So I had about 20 times more photos than I thought I did, because when I was looking through them initially, I was like, oh, that's really not that many. I realized, I'm like, well, I have to set the timer for every single one of them, and I'm gonna be real, some of these photos, I'm like, are people gonna believe that I took them myself? Because they're so good. They're so good. I'm so excited. Like, I almost don't believe I took it myself. I'm like, what? What? Yeah, anyway, it was really nice to hang out in the car, especially with my little twinkle lights. I realized real fast, I was like, oh, it's not gonna be that comfortable. I thought, like, haha, short privilege, like, I'm only 5'2", like, this will be so good. This will be easy.
And then I was like, oh, I don't really want to lay with my legs like this. And I went to go use the bathroom. I'm like, huh, you know what? It looks a lot less windy. I wondered. And I looked at my tent and I was like, she's still. She is still. I don't see any wind. So I don't know what happened. Since the wind passed over, I was like, you know, I have a blanket laying on the floor of the tent as well as a yoga mat. I can go and lay out, sprawl out and everything. I have my sleeping bag. That was the other thing too, is I didn't bring up enough in the car. I was like, I've got that really warm sleeping bag that, at least at the time when it was made for like freezing weather, like below 0. I don't know that that's the case now. The things tend to fade over time. The sleeping bag is probably older than I am because it was my mom's, as well as this tent. It's nice. It's nice to be in this tent because I haven't been in it since childhood. And my mom used to take my brother and I camping. Oh, I'd say like at least like once a month when we were younger. Maybe that's an exaggeration. I don't know actually. Okay, so I don't know if we went camping once a month, but we definitely, at least like for a while, would go to the creek. We'd go frog hunting. We wouldn't kill or eat the frogs or anything like that. Like, we would just collect them in a bucket. We wouldn't even keep them as pets. We'd just count them and name them and say hello. They're like baby frogs, really tiny. And then we'd set them free after we'd hang out with them for like an hour or so. So that was a fun thing for us to do when we were kids. But we would go camping pretty often too. So, and this is the tent. But I'm just gonna relax here for a little bit longer. It's like 6:30. I'm up. It's baby steps. I had to just open up the thing, but I'm still like in my sleeping bag. I have to say, it's nice to wake up and be like, there's some creosote right over there. That's creosote, in case you don't know. Just because that's a plant that we have in Arizona. We also have those flowers over there. We also have that yucca, which, like, if you are not familiar with, then I definitely could see somebody thinking that that's a Joshua tree. But the Joshua trees are a little bit more lanky. They don't have like the fibers like coming all the way down the stalk, or like the stalk of the tree. They're just kind of fuzzy on the top. But yeah, we definitely have a lot of similar plants over here. And creosote is the plant that makes it most smell like desert rain. So if like you've ever been to the desert and you're like, oh wow, what's that really cool like musky kind of smell, it's very very aromatic. So it's more than likely creosote, of course depending on what desert, but I'm sure that they probably get a very similar smell to what we get in Arizona, just based on the creosote alone, because it's a very strong smell, not standing next to it. But if the best way to smell it, if you want to know what it smells like, is to just grab a little bit of the leaves and then rub them together. I'm not going to do it here because we're not supposed to be picking at the plants and stuff like that. When it's my own home, I don't mind as much, but over here I'm not going to do that. But if you just rub it together in between your fingers and then smell that, you'll see right away that that's what it smells like.
Hello, welcome to my morning setup. I've got the whole gamut. I've got some orange juice. This is about how much was already in here. I'm just trying to finish this because I had it for smoothies earlier in the week before I got to California. Didn't want it to go to waste. I have kombucha, which I did not have to refrigerate or put in the cooler last night. I just kept it in the tent with me, and it was cold enough to where this stayed cold. So I'm gonna, and it's still a little bit cold honestly, so I'm gonna finish that up. I've got some blueberries. I just washed with I got like a water dispenser thing where you just press the button and then it like shoo, you put it on the gallon and everything. It's really handy. This is the knife that my brother's letting me borrow. Just super amazing. So I already pre-cut a little bit of the apple, so don't be super impressed. But I'm gonna have a little bit of apple with some peanut butter over here. I made a matcha. I have the powder, and then this straw actually comes out. You can put the little lid here, and I was able to shake it up, and I just used some of the ice from one of the bags that I had in the cooler so it would still be clean. I've got my water, so I basically have like every liquid possible. Did my sunscreen. I did put on a little bit of makeup on for funsies because I was like, you know what? I was organizing everything in the car this morning, and then I was like, you know what? Let's put it on. Let's put it on, and then let's put it in the back of the car because I definitely, sure as hell, I'm not gonna be wearing any on the way home tomorrow. So then I'm about to do a small little craft right here. There's like this pashmina. You can make like a top. I've already cut the hole for I won't put it on right now, but basically you will do it real fast because it'll be easier to explain. Put this on. I got it from a TikTok, so I'll just link it below, but I'm gonna sew right here and then right here, and then it becomes a nice like flowy top, which will be too hot to wear in the first half of the day, but maybe in the second half of the day after the sun has done its thing, it might be a little bit more fun to wear. So that's what I'm up to, and I'm gonna enjoy my breakfast. All right, we've made it to Joshua Tree National Park. Woo! I am in Hidden Valley. Speaking of which, I did not see that Hidden Valley in the path that I was just walking on. My feet did not catch that. Well, actually, technically they did. Otherwise, I'd be on the ground. But yeah, we are here. So have a look around. You'll never guess where I am. The world famous crochet museum. It is a closet just full of crochet things. Oh, this is really creepy, but also kind of cute. That one's just straight up creepy. Yeah, shall we go through and just kind of see? Okay, this guy might be my favorite. This is so cute. Okay, I like this bumblebee. There's like a pink panther down here. Gosh, it like absorbs the sound being in here. I keep knocking into this guy. If I'm knocking into it, there's a problem. I'm short. Let's see. I'm trying to give you a good view of all of them. Oh, there's even like these. Interesting. Oh, there's ice cream. Oh, there's cake. There's cake. That's a whole cake. I don't want to touch it because it's a museum. You're not supposed to touch, but oh my God, there's pizza. Okay, I'm into the food, man. There's flowers. Oh my God. Hi there. It's 3 years later, and I am home, as you see. Yeah, wow, a lot has happened since doing that trip, and it's kind of just wild and crazy to watch back on some of this footage. I gotta be honest, there's a little bit of grief and just kind of going through this, because like one of the things I'm trying, like that I've really had to heal a lot this past year has been around like my scarcity mindset. And yes, that is with money. Okay, I got some bills here from selling my furniture and I'm just like keeping it on display because I'm like, hi, we have money. They might all be ones, but that is cash. That is real cash. But it's been around time as well. It's been around talent. It's been like so many things. And there are so many things that I thought that I had gotten past. And then it was just kind of like a whole nother cycle of it. I think that I maybe put this project a little bit on a pedestal in a lot of ways. I don't know, I coped with it the best that I could at the time. I didn't even really get into the nitty-gritty of what it's all about, and maybe that's the part that, I don't know, I'll either make a separate video or maybe we wait for the music to come out for that part specifically, but there were a lot of personal things that were kind of involved in this. And even within the writing process of the music itself, there came a point where I realized that like I was very much going to not be okay if I continued to force myself to just keep going full speed. And so I think that maybe I kind of need to look at this with a balance in terms of I did what I thought I needed to do in order to be able to, you know, preserve my energy and do what was best for my health at the time. And at the same time, I think it's also like, I just need to be honest and say that like, I definitely hoarded these videos with this very idealized version of myself of like, I'm going to write this music and then it's going to be done and then I'll release it and then I'll have this to release, like, you know what I mean? I was thinking about it from like a business model standpoint. I'm sure that there was probably a lot of external influence of a lot of advice that I was receiving at the time, because that was a common theme around that time of like, you should do this, you should do this. And I gotta say, there's something beautiful about being able to move in silence, because then you can shut out a lot of the noise and not have to worry about that. But that again could be a whole nother separate video. But anyway, here are some of the images that I was able to produce. Yep, so this is some of the photography. I did it all myself, as I mentioned in the video. I did it all on my iPhone for the most part, because you saw that there was a point where I was like running out of battery on the camera even. It is wild to look at. Like I said, there's a lot of grief that comes up, maybe just in having to kind of let go of what I thought all of this project could become. And it doesn't mean that it can't become something, but I think that in order for it to develop into anything, I almost kind of have to just release it as a whole. I am still trying to finish up the last few songs. Lately I've been trying to just kind of clear out things and belongings wise and stuff like that, getting ready for my move to New York City, which again, more videos to come hopefully. I needed to clear the hard drive in order to be able to get ready to make new stuff. This has just kind of been taking up space, you know, to just put it like super bluntly. But I didn't want to get rid of it. I knew it was still super important, and so I still wanted to share it, knowing that like, I don't know, maybe only like 2 people might end up watching it. But at least I can, you know, rest saying like, okay, it's done. We let go of this so that way we can make space for what is new, which I mean, I don't know, honestly, when I think about it, that is exactly what the album is going to be about. So we have to clear out the old to make space for the new. So that's funny. That's funny. Okay, good old irony from the universe. Loving that. I might make another video at some point. I have to look and see like what kind of footage and images I have, but I might do like a breakdown of what it was like to put the costume together, because that was a 3-month-long process. I am not a professional sewist whatsoever. I have survival skills. I actually really hate sewing. People have been like, you should do this and you can make money doing it. And I'm like, please don't ever suggest that ever again. My blood boils when I have to sew something, but sometimes I have a vision and I'm stubborn as all hell, and I know that I have to just get through it in order to be able to make it happen. I don't know, this feels like a weird way to end it, but I just wanted to hop in since it felt really inconclusive with where the footage had ended, and I wanted to be able to just kind of like have a moment of transparency with how I feel about this project looking back. I'm so excited to be able to put it out there and have it kind of as a way of being able to shed some of this energy. Like, it's no longer for me, it's no longer mine, and there's something that is really beautiful about that and gives me a really great sense of relief. And it gives me the space to be able to discover new parts of myself, which is what I'm hoping we can start to show more of as we go on this journey on here. I will see you in the next video, whenever and whatever that is, but thank you for tuning in for all of the adventures of my solo trip to Diamond Valley Lake and Joshua Tree in California. See you soon.